those of you that have somehow not ordered us yet, we are an online aggregator for takeaway restaurants. So we offer our consumers ability to order via desktop, mobile web, and via our free apps as well. So I think one of the core benefits, according to our insight, which I'm going to in a sec, is the fact that we allow our consumers to take away without actually having to see another human being. So, really interesting insight for us there. But that's what we're about, and that's what we do. And I put one of our recent ads up here. I'm hoping on the way home, I'm seeing nods, awesome. Hopefully you'll see some more of these ads on the trains on the way home, but that's kind of who we are, and that's what we're doing. So, what is social CRM? We talk about CRM a lot. Social CRM for me is just really the natural evolution of traditional CRM. Actually, the basics are absolutely 100% the same. But who you're talking to now, how they operate is entirely different. And I know a lot of you guys will know that this isn't necessarily brain surgery, but sometimes it's really, really important to remember that when you're sat in your office at your desk and you're having meetings. So it's a natural evolution of kind of delivering the right message, right time, right person, etc., etc. But the goalposts really move, and they continue to move all the time. I wrote here CRM for the social and really mobile age, especially at Just Eat. We're all about, most of our users actually use mobile web or use our apps. So understanding the mindset of someone using mobile, using an app versus say desktop is really, really key to our success in delivering an excellent experience. Heightened expectations, so our consumers are now, they know what to expect, they've got it then and there. We have a phrase at Just Eat, it's called hangry, and it's funny, but we always take away, so there's little moments in your week or your month when you go, you know what, sod it, I'm going to have a takeaway, can't be asked for a busy day, whatever the reason, it's always a positive thing in the world. And when your takeaway is maybe just a minute late, you get a bit of a slow takeaway drive, or anything gets in the way of that food, you become inadvertently, crazily angry in that situation. So what goes to be a nice little win in your world suddenly becomes a massive issue. Understanding that brand for us is extremely important for us to try to deliver excellent customer experience across the board, but especially if anyone has a problem as an issue. And this is where really for us our social media team really kick in. So again, I'm hoping anyone that has ordered from us, if you have a digital experience, hopefully not. If you had, I'm hoping our social team will have on the board because I think they're really awesome. We've got some good examples of that. One of the most important things though about social CRM is what complexities now and trying to reach the right audience, understand them, where are they now, latest social media platforms they've set up. The most important opportunity really social CRM offers us is the opportunity to drive, deliver, build even more engaging relationships with our consumers like never before. So when I say it's like traditional CRM, it's like times a million in terms of the engagement, the brand advocacy you can potentially build with your consumers. You just take the time to understand them, try to deliver the right messages, right time, right place, loads of graphs like this. I mean, you'll find these all over the place. I haven't actually taken the slides as well actually for this one, but we all know the mobile usage is just mushroom cloud, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So for me, one of the really biggest insights in terms of social CRM is looking at the usage of social platforms on mobile. So I actually was surprised it's only a third, I'll be honest. Apparently a third of Facebook, 600 million plus users use Facebook via their mobile. So that's 200 million people straight off the bat that use Facebook on their mobile. And 50%, again I think it's going to be more, I'll be honest, but 50% of Twitter users use their mobile. So really, 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 really important that you understand this and you start to think, okay, however you develop your product or your messaging or whatever you're doing, think about, are your user base, are they using mobile? I can pretty much bet they all are. They're all first. You know, think about when you're on your mobile, what are you doing? What's your mindset versus sat at home, perhaps on your desktop, your laptop out on your lap. You know, there's a big difference in the psyche of the consumer. It's important to try and understand that and get into that and really understand it. The Just Eat journey. So we have a mission at Just Eat, and it's one that it's not just a mission that our exec team kind of, you know, shout down at us and we go, yeah, all right, whatever, we'll carry on with business as usual. This is something that we genuinely want to live and breathe, everyone in the business. And it's to empower consumers to love their takeaway experience. So it's not like it, it's not sort of a bit meh, whatever, curry, whatever. It's love. And that is a huge kind of ask, you know, in terms of us as marketeers and the CRM professionals to try and deliver that kind of love across all channels all the time. I've got a lovely slide for you next. If you haven't got good eyesight, I apologise now. So the first thing we did on our journey is to understand our map, essentially. Kind of, you know, get the map out and understand what are we talking about when we talk about the social CRM ecosystem. And for us at Just Eat, obviously, right at the heart is the customer. You know, obviously, they're right slap bang in the middle. When I started at Just Eat, so I started back in January, and you know, we've been through high growth. We're a high growth business. You know, we just went to the stock market back in April. It's really, really exciting times for us. That's all been through looking at growth and acquisition, all that great stuff. When I first started, certainly a lot of my experiences in CRM, and one of the first things I noticed was that, you know what about all these current customers? What about these lovely, you know, lots and lots of other, millions of other customers that are already in our base? What are we doing for them? And, you know, for a lot of people, when they think about CRM, one of what they think about is that. A lot of brands, say a lot of places I've worked, think about email, so it's email. Actually at Just Eat, what we've come up with is a map actually that is obviously much more complex than that, and it mirrors our actual user base, our customer base. So you've got, under eCRM, you've got obviously email, but you've got retargeting, you know, really, really important eCRM channel that I think still is kind of it's underutilised, or maybe it's just the acquisition guys that use it. But really, that's a fantastic tool, especially across mobile. You've then got SMS and you know, things like IGV Player. You've got things where you can target people really, really effectively with really key messages. Third-party review sites. Now, obviously, it's not owned media. This is where your consumer goes to rate you. You know, this is where they go, and people buy from other people. You know, they don't buy from us as much as we try to be cool and fun and, you know, lovable and all the rest of it. They buy from other people. Really, really important for us as a brand that we are across these. This is just kind of representative. There are lots more. We need to be there answering people. You know, it's a bit like on TripAdvisor. You're looking for a B&B or something, and you see, you know, really poor rating, but someone's come back and answered. So actually, I wish you told us you found a spider in the shower or whatever it is. We just sorted it out for you. It makes you feel better about the brand. Really important that we're also there. That's part of your CRM ecosystem, really. For us, we've got our product as well. So we've got our desktop mobile site and our apps. Obviously, really, really key touch point. That's where people go to actually order. That has to feel like the same brand as everywhere else. Our lovely customer care team, they deal with about 3% of our customers ever actually come through our customer care team, but they're in that heightened state of hungry. I want to get you all saying hungry at some point. So really, really important that we're still us for our personality, but we appreciate that someone's really quite cross about something. You know, they never phone up just to say thanks, unfortunately. It'd be lovely if they did. So, you know, we operate info at email, we've got the phone, we've got live chat lines. We've also got a 10-man team looking at social media customer care only. So these guys are on it all the time, but they're answering queries and problems, but they're also doing is living our brand. So what we've actually started doing at Just Eat a little while ago now is linking up this lovely Twitter bird with the team that's under my remit, which is the marketing social media team. So the days of planning campaigns and perhaps, I don't know, scheduling tweets to go out and then just buggering off home at 5:30, those days have gone for us, certainly at Just Eat. We're hugely integrated with our customer care team. It's so important that they know what's going on, what we're talking about, who we are, the tone of voice, so that when they're not having to deal with some poor person who, with a cold curry, they can interact with people. They're online until like midnight when we're all tucked up in bed. Absolutely critical that they're there with the banter and the fun, and kind of really having those building those rich relationships with customers. Outside of all these, you also have all the other things that makes the consumer's opinion of your brand. It kind of helps them build that opinion of your brand. So you've got things like you've got TV. We're actually advertising on cinema now. Has anyone seen ads yet? No? Only just started? See nods? Good man. Our restaurant network. We've got well over 20,000 restaurants, takeaway restaurants currently on our books. These are the guys that actually deliver that final experience. We kind of can't actually, that's the one bit we can't influence, and that's the bit that almost really, really matters. So it's key to us, from a B2B perspective, to really build those rich relationships with our restaurants as well, so they look after you guys as our customers. Friends and family, obviously. And you've got radio, and you've got all of our home stuff, so like the ads you see on the tube. We've got taxis, we've got buses, all over the bloody place right now in London. You probably can't think for missing us, but all of these factors influence this person in the middle. And to get that right, to ensure that you offer a consistent tone of voice, consistent message across all these platforms, it's a big ask, but it's one that we should all aspire to try and do. And again, this is just our journey at Just Eat right now. I'm sure you guys have got your own kind of challenges internally, but this is where we're going. Planning the route, again, I continue with the journey theme throughout, so apologies. The first thing we did is actually go, well, who the hell are our customers actually? Who are they, and what is their opinion of us? What's their opinion of takeaway? When you have a takeaway, what's the main thing you do? So forget Just Eat, guess who we are. What takeaway population, what do they do when they get a takeaway? Unsurprisingly, it's get an alcoholic beverage. It's the number one thing you do once you've ordered a takeaway. It certainly is in my house anyway, but that also, thank God, is for most people as well. So we conducted a market research project with YouGov back in the first half of this year, which provided us with lots and lots of rich insight in terms of the UK psyche around takeaway, about us as a brand, their opinion of us, all sorts of other things. We also looked at our segmentation. When we talk about active customers at Just Eat, so again, you guys all have your own segmentation kind of ways, but you often have your kind of nursery base, your actives, low, mid, high actives, and dormants, etc. For takeaway, I've got to be said, I think it's a pretty short life cycle in terms of active. For me, if I haven't ordered a curry or a pizza, I'm probably going to curry today, so a pizza, go something different, in 2 months, probably not that active anymore. It's important for us to know and recognise that and kick in some stuff to try and get you back before and predict when it might happen and start to understand that and start to kind of message you in the right way. And if we know you never respond to an email, even though you're opted in, when we see you're highly engaged on Twitter, send you a tweet. Won't send you an email. If we can see, even though you haven't opted out, you're not engaged with us. So we need to stop emailing you. We need to kind of respect that really. So one of the slides that came out of a very extensive slide deck from YouGov was this one. And this really importantly kind of gave us almost our guide in terms of who our audience are, who our key target audience are. And internally we call these guys the on-demanders. In old money, it's the cash poor, time poor, cash rich, get it right. These are people that are, age bracket, 18 to 34. They live their lives online. They're really career focused, really into their tech, all the rest of it. But they've got no time, They kind of would like to cook every now and then, but the reality is they're working late. They go into usually end up in M&S food hall at 9 at night, going, I don't know what my life has become. I don't know what I want to eat. That's kind of some of our target audience. Yeah, that kind of, probably that situation sums them up quite nicely. So, what came out for us was in terms of who our target audience are, these on-demanders, as a brand back in half one, were we speaking to these people? You know, what did these people in particular think of us as a brand? And the reality is that what they thought of us was we were a utility, we helped them order the takeaway, but we didn't actually speak to them. You know, we had nothing in common. And that for us is a major issue. If we're trying to build a relationship, you've got nothing in common, that we all know generally from personal life, it's not going to end very well. So we drew out a pen portraits of these people. The lovely Lynn, 29, catering manager, real person, so she's not here today. You know, what we started to develop is this really rich understanding of who are these people. Give me some actual details in terms of where they shop, you know, what they do, you know, what's their attitude to cooking, who are they, where are they in their life stage, all this really rich information. And the whole of the marketing team especially, so my team's 15 strong, the whole of marketing's 40 people at Just Eat. Every single person needs to understand this at this level. It's really deep level, which seems crazy, you know. Understanding the psychology of these people then enables certainly, so my acquisition team, you know, I've enabled after our display marketing, immediately start to say, well, when is this person online? Where do they shop? Where should we be advertising? You know, and it's not always as straightforward as you might think, and you get a lot of surprises. Packing the right gear. This is probably always the most dull bit of CRM for most people. That is so important. I'll be honest. Our journey at Just Eat right now, this is kind of where the headaches are. You know, you have to have the right systems and tools. You have to be able to see people. So for social media monitoring, we use Spreadfast, which is a great tool in terms of listening, monitoring, responding to consumers. It's a really exciting tool. It's also got a part of it called Spark, which actually enables you to start to listen to what conversations, what trends are about to take line. And we make a decision every day as a news desk. Have we got a reason to be here? Is it something, if it's going to take off, actually is it relevant to us and our consumers more importantly? If it's not, we leave it, we watch it, we have a giggle, we watch it all take off. If it is, we need to understand what our angle is and actually get in there and get on it, perhaps before it's already gone, the ship's already gone. We recognise through this insight that most people, when they get a takeaway, we were having a chat earlier, when you get a takeaway, quite often, you know, you kind of put your sloppy gear on and you get like the box set out, you know, hence the box set ads on the tube, you know. You've got to, you perhaps go on E4, you go on any of the channel, ITV player, you watch something on demand, and that's Game of Thrones and things like that. And that's actually a really important insight for us, because whilst rationally we're an online, you can order takeaway online with Just Eat, which you can do, emotionally as a brand, we're about trying to be your friend when you want to get that Game of Thrones out and you want to, you know, put your stocky trousers on and, you know, kick back and do whatever you want and actually not have to speak to anyone, because frankly you look awful. You know, losing hair and the rest of it. I'm just talking for segment of one here, apologies. So, you know, really, really important to be able to you know, track these people, have the right tools at your disposal. For us right now, you know, we have an ESP, we have various different kind of legacy systems, so we're currently reviewing all of that to try and find a tool or perhaps a suite of tools that will enable us not only to see who these people are and see what they're doing, but take action off the back of it straight away or within the right time frame, hence real-time data. For our business model, certainly, again, obviously you've got different business models, it's critical that we're real time. You know, the kind of moment someone decides they want to order from us and then perhaps they disappear off the site, we're going to get you back straight away. Otherwise you're going to go somewhere else and order your pizza. So really, really important to have that kind of that data flow, all the really boring stuff, APIs. I kind of like it, I'm really sorry, but I'm a bit geeky, but I know a lot of people don't, so I'm going to skim over it. Cross-device tracking as well, absolutely key for us. We have to have a single customer view. If we lose people, so they come on the desktop or come on the app and they bugger off on the desktop because they can't, perhaps the app's too small or whatever their issues are, or they want to give desktop to their mum and just haven't got very good eyesight, then we lose you and you go off and order. Because you didn't order on the app, we may well start retargeting you, saying, hey, come back, order with us. Which makes us look like utter fools, quite frankly, because you're like, well, actually, I just ordered on your desktop like an hour ago.
So really, really important that you can track people across the different devices that you've got available. People. It's such a cliche, sorry, I'm going American, but you know, you've got to get the right people. You know, if you want your to live and breathe social CRM, it has to be part of your culture, ingrained. You have to recruit well. You have to get people that can really get behind who you are as a brand and live it and breathe it. This is especially true of the guys, you know, more at the coalface. You know, more people like us, my social media team especially. You know, they're on it all the time. They have to know. If they don't know who we are, and they start flippantly responding to something, or it feels all wrong. That can cause us massive damage, really, actually, in terms of kind of brand engagement. Other passengers, it's like the back of my car. I've got two boys though, so they'll probably kill me for saying that. Other passengers, this is kind of what I was talking about just now. You have to have an integrated approach to CRM. This isn't just a marketing thing. CRM does not sit in marketing. It sits throughout the business. And unless you have all the business involved in understanding what CRM is, you are going to struggle. I'm going to tell you now, you're going to struggle to make this work.